Hi there, I'm Clifford Bates, and welcome once again to reading Machiavelli's Discourse. Today we're looking at chapter 25 of the first book of the Discourses, and we're looking at the question here, and I'm using this is a different computer, you can tell, the different camera. We'll see how this works because I'm between computers, you know, this is going to be one of the things that happen. Look at chapter 25. 25 deals with what? He who wishes to reform an antiquated state in a free city may retain at least the shadow of its ancient modes. In other words, here he's saying that if you want to reform an antiquated state in a free city, you may retain the shadow of it. So let's go look into the chapter. If someone who desires or who wishes to reform a state in a city wishes to be accepted and capable of being maintained or maintained to the satisfaction of everyone, he is under the necessity of retaining at least the shadow of its ancient modes, so that it may not appear to the people to have changed its order, or even if in fact the new orders are altogether alien to the past one. So the first sentence is basically straight there. He's basically highlighting the fact that if you're trying to make a new order of something, okay, sorry. If you're going to make the new order of something, you must make it so that it still has the. You have to make sure you just can't completely change it new. You must still have some of the old symbols, some of the old shadows. He says, he uses the word shadows, right? It has, in other words, the ancient, in other words, shadows of its old modes. The old institutions, the old structures, must still remain. In other words, there must be consistency in here, he's saying. For the generality of men feed on what appears as much as what is. Remember, the generality of men, in other words, they live by appearance. They live by appearance. The generality, or the majority, the great number of people are governed by the appearance of things rather than how they really are. Indeed, many times they are moved more by things that appear than by the things that are. In other words, again, they're moved more by appearance than by reality. Okay, this is a very important, shocking point from Machiavelli. And in fact, anyone who sees politics today knows the appearance of things are sometimes more important than the reality of them. And that's what shocks politics in that sense. For this cause, recognizing this necessity at the beginning of their free way of life, and having created 2 consuls in exchange for 1 king, the Romans did not wish to have more than 12 lictors, so as not to surpass the number of those who ministered to the king. Because remember, again, he's talking about Livy's account of what happened in the first consuls. When the Republic was created, yes, they divided the order and having not 1 king, but 2. But they kept the number of lictors, yes, people who used to carry the rods for the king, who used to enforce for the king, to 10. So they maintained the number of how, in other words, while they divided the royal power, they did not increase the number of lictors, right? Give each one 10, okay? Besides this, since an annual sacrifice was ordered in Rome that could not be done except by the king in person, and since the Romans wish the people not to have the desire, not to desire anything ancient because of the absence of the kings, they created a head of the said sacrifice, whom they called the sacrificing king, and subordinated him to the highest priest, so that By this way, the people came to be satisfied with their sacrifice, and never to have cause, or for the lack of it, their satisfaction, to return or desire to return to the return of the kings. In other words, the old kings played a role. The kings played a role in the traditional public sacrifices. In other words, they had a sacrifice. The Romans had a public sacrifice, as he says, the annual sacrifice, and that the king conducted it. Right now, what the problem is, well, the people might think, oh my God, I don't want to piss off the gods. I want it's that person should do it. The king should do it. So therefore, do it. So what they did was they did this. They as he says here, they in order for people not to have a desire to have a king back, they did what? They created a new office. That was the sacrificing king, and subordinated him to the highest priest. So the people can, in other words, the office could be done. The order of the order, or at least the form, or the appearance of the form, could be maintained. So the people would be satisfied that, in the fact that, okay, this is not really changing that much. This is not really, it's not a total revolution and undoing of what is. This should be observed by all those who wish to suppress an ancient way of life in a city, and to turn it to a new and free way of life. For since the new thing altered the minds of men, you should contrive that those alterations retain as much as much of the ancient as possible. In other words, if you're going to do something, if you're going to, in other words, suppress an ancient way of life of a city and turn it to a new and free way of life, right? You can't just everything new. You have to do so. So since the new things alter the minds of men, right? You need to contrive that those alterations retain as much of the ancient order as possible, he says. If the magistrates vary from the ancient ones in number and in authority and time, they should at least retain the name. In other words, even if everything changed about them. In other words, even if the magistrates of the new magistrates from the old one, even if they're in number and authority and time, how long they last, right? They change in terms of, in other words, in terms of the actual institution, how it is. In other words, how many, what is their power, what they can do, what they do, and how long they have to do it. Their term, right? These can change, but keep the name. This is, I said, this, as I said, he should observe who wishes to order a political way of life, by the way either of a republic or a kingdom. But he who wishes to make an absolute power, which is called tyranny, by the authors, and this is, I think he means by this Plato, Republic, Statesman, Aristotle's Politics, Polybius, everyone. This is, if you want to go by tyranny, should renew everything. In other words, tyrants. If you don't care, if you're trying to keep a republic or a kingdom, you need to maintain some aspect of the past. But if you're going to create a tyranny, then everything can be new, as will be told in the following chapter. So let's stop here. If you have any comments or questions here, I mean, how he ends it here is this idea that, okay, he's going to talk about tyranny in the next chapter. But if you're going to keep a republic or a monarchy, you have to respect the old, at least in terms of its appearance. The appearance. You can change the substance, but the appearance must be the same, Machiavelli teaches. So let's stop here. If you have any comments or questions, please put them below, and I'll respond to them when I see them. If you have any issues, if you like it, hit the like video. Hit the like video. I hope you'll hit the like video and hit the like button and share this with your friends and share it far and wide. Share it on your social media. Hope other people will like it. Another thing is, if you've not subscribed, please subscribe. If you're encourage others to come check out the channel, check out not only our videos here on the Discourses, but our 2 runs on the Prince and our things on Aristotle, the things we did on Schmidt, different playlists. Go check the playlist out. Also, please subscribe and encourage others to come check us out. Now, if you didn't like what I did, of course you can hit the dislike button, down from. But say why in the comment. What did we did wrong? What did you have some specific criticism? So please, and that way we can learn, we can benefit from it. Well, that's it. If you want to follow me on social media, my social media links are below. If you want to know more about me as a scholar and researcher, you want to check out my scholarship and check out what I do as a scholar, you can check out the academic social media links below those. And if you want to help do what I do here, because there's been the computer disaster. I still haven't got the computer back, and it kind of gobbled up a lot of money. Help, you can always help by contributing to either subscribe to our Patreon, or you can do so through buying one of my books that are available and a list of books below. Well, that's it. I'll see you next time. We'll look at chapter 26. Take care. Bye-bye. Have a good day.